Avengers Assemble! Today we're looking at the Ice Attack Marvel's Frost Giant. Again with the Marvels in front of the name. And yes, this is a Marvel character, not a Avatar character. Just wanted to clarify that real quick. But this is the Deluxe Frost Giant from the first wave of Deluxe packs. An unfortunate move for Hasbro's part, this was also pretty much the exact same figure released as a single carded piece, with fewer accessories. It's been pretty easy to come across this figure at a discount. I think Target ended up clearing them out at less than their single carded figure counterpart price. And this guy is basically the same as the single carded figure with more accessories and a darker paint job, which is why I went for this one over the single carded piece. The Frost Giant comes with a bajillion accessories, seeing as he is a deluxe figure, you kind of get what you pay for. But most of them actually aren't all that bad. I'll get the stupid ones out of the way. You get two of these, and they are his ice missile launchers. You take them, and the missile just kind of wedges, and oh, there it goes. Okay, so you have the missile, it's got a notched groove over here. You put it in the corresponding slot on the firing tube. And then the back here, it latches on to the body of the cannon. And all you gotta do is move that to the side, and it rockets off. Now these you could put on the Frost Giant's arms, I guess. Really awkward fit, but you could do that if you so chose. I guess you could even put them on his legs, if you were just oddly inclined to. I think it would fit if you wanted to force it on there. If you want like ice rocket boosters on your Frost Giant. He comes with an ice helmet. I don't think this ever made an appearance in the movie, but I actually like it. It's kind of a cool looking thing. I do like how all these accessories are nice and translucent and frosty looking. They really have a cool effect. In practice, the helmet doesn't look nearly as cool as it does on its own. I mean, it's a little overly big and kind of goofy, but if you're going to army build these guys, if you wanted a big diorama with a bunch of different Frost Giants, things like this would make it really easy to diversify between the different Frost Giants. And even if you had the normal one, I don't know if the single card one comes with this helmet, but you could put it on him just as easily. Now when it comes to giant things that actually were in the movie, you have the Crab Claw of Doom. There's a big chunk of ice. Will slide onto his arm. Kind of like a big shield, I think is how they used it in the movies. I think this is pretty cool. I actually really like this. It cracked me up when I saw this on the figure. I'm like, oh, that's another stupid thing they threw in there that's never going to be in the movie. It was in the freaking movie. That took me off guard quite a bit. And the last two accessories I'll do together, we have a mace and an axe. They're both pretty similar. They have like a coppery metal looking handle and then an ice weapon at the end. I think that's really neat. It's cool looking. Just because the idea that maybe they'd have these metal pieces and then kind of grow their own weapons around them. I think they're neat looking, and he holds both of them pretty well, and they're just neat display pieces with them. As I said before, you have this, you have some of the other Frost Giants that have been released. You can mix and match pretty easily and kind of make a cool army building thing. And even if you were army building and you only picked up a couple of these deluxe packs, you could use the single card figures and just kind of distribute all the weapons between them. So all those pieces out of the way, let's take a look at the Avatar. I mean, the Frost Giant. I think he's actually pretty cool looking. I did like the design they gave him in the movie. It seemed like it might have been a budgetary reason that they went with the way they did, because they do look a little more human than they do in the comics. But still pretty cool. He's got the icy blue lines going through his darker blue skin, which is a pretty cool contrast on him. Kind of the same metal pieces that make up his weapons, just wrapped around different parts. He has bare feet, which is neat in the fact that if you ever wanted to make a custom out of anything that needed bare feet, I mean, this guy wouldn't be too hard to take down to pretty much nothing. He's just got a couple little bands on his arms and stuff to shave off, and he has a decent pair of bare feet. He also, speaking of bare, he has his loincloth, and yeah, there's nothing under that. Not that you probably wanted to know either way. And he kind of has his built-in helmet, which I guess makes the ice helmet redundant. The head sculpt's pretty cool. He's got his red eyes, kind of a nasty look on his face. That's kind of a cool design. I believe what I have here on mine is a bit of a paint error. It's almost like a metallic sheen just on one side of his chest. I think it might have been off the coppery gold bit. That maybe the paint hadn't mixed quite right and it kind of spilled on there. Just like almost like a very thin coat. But the muscle detail on him's good too, and just overall looks pretty darn cool. For articulation, he has the same neck joint that the other figures in his line have. It's a swivel with the ball joint on top. For whatever reason, I can't get a lot of motion out of his. I don't know if mine's just stiff or if there's issues with it. He has pin socket shoulders, so you get a good range of mobility there. With the added muscle on this figure, it does kind of block getting the arms to go down all the way. You can bend and rotate at the elbow, rotate at the wrist. He has a mid-torso joint, which mine is very, very loose. And I actually tried to make this a little stiffer. It was originally just flopping all over the place, and I actually added some super glue in there to tighten it up. It's still not good enough. I need to add either a little bit more, or maybe I'll just take that joint out altogether. Standard movie style leg joints with the ball there, not inhibited by the loincloth whatsoever. Rotate the upper leg, bend the knee at 2 points, and bend and rotate the ankle. Normally when I do these reviews, I kind of try to keep my hand hidden until the review is over, or at least to this point, before I reveal whether I really like or dislike the figure. I'm sure with plenty of reviews, enthusiasm levels probably come across and other things as well as to what I think about it before the end. But I feel like I can't really conceal it with this guy. I like the concept of this figure. I think he's pretty well executed. I like all the extra accessories. Frost Giants are something on my list of maybe picking up a couple of the other ones if they ever go on clearance. I wouldn't pay full price to get more and army build them or anything, but if I ever find a good deal on them, I might pick up another one or two. Depending on price, it'd either be this one or the single card one. I definitely want to get one single carded just for the color change. But overall, I think this one is the one to get between the two. With all the extra stuff he comes with, you can really make some cool designs out of him. From what I've seen continuing on with the line, we're going to end up with a grand total of 4 different Frost Giants. We have this guy, the single carded one, another deluxe Frost Giant that looks a lot different, which I hope I can find one day. He's really cool looking. And of course, King Laufey. For a basic Frost Giant in line, I think this one's definitely a cool one to have, and I'd highly recommend picking one of these up. Especially, as I said, these guys are cleared out, on sale, all the time. It seems like stores can't get rid of them, and I think it mostly has to do with that stupid deluxe Thor that's out there. But the Frost Giant seems to move pretty well, but there all seems to be a few on the pegs. I think he's definitely worth picking up. This has been another Outside the Box review, and stay tuned as we continue to count down to Avengers.